back to Guys Night. I'm your host, Cory. And we're also bringing back Mr. Micheal.
What's going on, guys?
So, unfortunately, Noah had to work tonight, you know. We're going to try and kick things off a little quicker now. Get a steady pace going. It's raining outside. We got a small little tower fan going. And I have a cold, or a light cold at this moment, so bear with the sniffles. It's not COVID, I promise. So Micheal, how was your day?
How was my day? Eventful to say the least. Got some good times, bad times.
Everything in between, I guess.
It's just been a day.
Fair enough. So for our viewers, there might be a little bit of thunder. There might be a little bit of lightning as well. Well, you won't be able to hear the lightning, but you'll hear the thunder. We're supposed to get a decent rain. I got a window open so we get some fresh air.
We're just chilling here, hanging out, as boys.
Oh, just having some fun. Thought we'd kick off Guys Night. Last night we hit it off pretty hard with literally every topic in the book. Not kidding. I wrote down a bunch of topics and we nailed them all. So, I think tonight's gonna be a little more relaxed.
Where can I put the ash?
I'll get some for you here in a minute. But I think for tonight we're gonna keep things chill. We're gonna answer some questions that were posed by our members of our audience. So we'll get to that here in a second. I'll be right back. Micheal, keep them entertained.
Alright. Anyway, so I'm sitting there earlier, barbecue sauce on my titties. No, I'm just fucking around. But seriously though, I was hanging out with Noah, and we were just vibing. Today, my girlfriend broke up with me, and it's low-key been it's been a shitty day, But I went and hung out with my buddy Noah, and got a little bit high, hanging out with him. And then, him, his brother, and I all fucking went on a run, and we were all chooched. And we walked into our friend Charlie's vape shop, and we're all sitting there. And I didn't even know that fucking Charlie owned this vape shop, or was working there. I was low-key kind of mind blown. And long story short, those were the good parts of my day. I got to see some friends that I haven't seen in a while. I got to fucking vibe out with one of my best friends and just fucking accept it, because, obviously the shittier part of my day was my girlfriend breaking up with me, but, I don't know, we were always at a standstill, and there's just a lot of misconception and a lot of mistrust, and it wasn't healthy, and I'm hoping after time we've both grown up and can maybe at some point come back to that. Do I think it's gonna happen? No, I don't, but, we'll see. Anyway, what about you, Cory?
Well, my day consisted of waking up, my throat was swollen, I couldn't talk, and I couldn't yawn, so that was the start of my day. But I'm feeling better now. Took a bunch of cold medicine, gargled with peroxide and salt water. Makes a good combination. Now my voice is back. I'll probably have to do it before I go to bed, otherwise I won't be able to speak in the morning. It's kind of important. So one of the questions, well, I can't say loyal because it's brand new, but hopefully loyal audience members posed. Mr. Sundeep, if you're listening, I'm about to answer some of these questions. First question that was asked is, what is our purpose? Why do we do this? Number one, we do this because, shit, I went through a bad breakup, Michael's is going through a bad breakup, Noah's in the middle of some weird relationship thing, and it has a kid. So we're just trying to do this to have fun.
Short, not to cut you off, but long story short, we're just a bunch of fucking guys, man, and we're just hanging out, and we got a lot going on. We've had a lot going on from the very fucking get-go, and we're just here to fucking forget about it, you know, for a change, for a better tomorrow. We're just here to fucking sit here, talk, and enjoy our time, you know. That's what we're here for. We want to entertain our viewers. We want to, you know, put smiles on people's faces and just have a good-ass time, you know. No relevancy to fucking hatred or racism or sexism or
politics in general.
All of it. Just it's we've had it so induced into our lives that we're just like, that's the ground rule. That's like groundbreaker. We're not fucking doing it. We don't want to sit here and have a conversation about our government and how everything's so shitty when we live that every day. Like, we realize it more and more.
And to capitalize on that point here, you know, if you turn on the television and you start scrolling through channels, the first thing you're gonna, if you go to any news channel, is like, oh, 6 people were killed in Chicago today, and then they'll go down to the list of how shitty all the other states are and everything else. We don't want you guys to hear that. This is, you know, we live that bullshit every day. It's not like we have a real set reason to do this, other than the fact that life sucks. We're all gonna try and get through it to one way or another, and we're gonna be here to give you guys a little entertainment along the way. And another question that was posed by an anonymous viewer: what makes for a good guys' night? Like, what in general makes for a good night? So, in my perspective, if you're trying to have like a guys' night, or for us, we'll sit here, we'll have a few drinks, there'll be some puff and pass, but I'm not a part of that. But at the same time, we all like to have fun, and you know, it's not so much about, oh, what can we get done tonight? It's about what experience can we share, and what things can we tell you guys that actually make a little more sense. And again, we stay out of politics because that's a can of worms. I'm hopefully going to get a sound bit that says, oh, can of worms, every time that someone poses a political question. So if that ends up happening, you'll hear it and we'll go, oh, well, looks like we're not getting to that one. Moving forwards. We've discussed a lot in our first podcast. Give me one second. We discussed a lot in our last podcast. Restaurants and all those sorts of things. But I think we can go towards events coming up for the town. That would be good to do. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, there's a shit ton of different opportunities and decent attractions that you can find in Ottawa throughout the course of a year, you know, and sometimes even the most mundane, there's some really small things that are the most enjoyable, just because it is a small town, you know, and there isn't anything crazy or special, but we all have those things that we just enjoy. I don't know, there's a lot of them.
Well, I've got a few off the top of my head.
Like, easily for us in specific as a state, you know, and like a town even, we have a lot of hiking.
You know,
there's a whole lot of places to go and walk the trails of.
To name a few, we have Starve Rock, Buffalo Rock, Matheson Park, Illini State Park,
Lions.
lions too. It literally, if you come to Ottawa, you're gonna get exposed to all sorts of different things to do. So it's not like if you come here, you're gonna be like, oh man, there's nothing to do. We have movie theaters. You can check out some of the newer movies in if you really wanted to, other than, you know, streaming them. But a few big events that are coming up. Riverfest, always a big one. Hopefully, last year with COVID, it was canceled and everyone was really pissed off about it. But at the same time, we kind of understood social distance, blah, blah, blah. But Riverfest usually consists of a lot of vendors from around a lot of locals coming out and, you know, selling their goods. So what ends up happening is that the town will basically convert a little bit. We've got a big open space and a few streets that aren't very populated for any period of time, which could include the 4th of July to Christmas. So we'll use those streets. You know, vendors will set up in the larger areas or those off streets, and then people will come through and, you know, browse wares. This can be handcrafted necklaces, forged necklaces. They've got vendors for food, all different kinds of food trucks we had the year before. So hopefully that happens.
Like small shops in Ottawa are fun to go to, just because it's a really homey feeling most of the time with a lot of the businesses that we have. You know, it's just more of that small town type of kindness, but in the same breath, there's also those people that aren't like that, so it kind of evens out. Man, there's fucking so many coffee shops, just little small places to go and do that you just look at and you're like, that'll be fun, you know.
Like if you're coming down here to meet somebody or, you know, hang out with family or a relative you haven't seen for a while, you know, it's fun to sit in your house, you know, and chat, but why do that all the time when you can be like, hey, let's go out and grab a coffee, or hey, let's do this? There's a lot of stuff to do, and one of the big events coming up, it's August 14th and 15th. It's the Starved Rock Nationals car show. This car show will take place August 14th and 15th over at Skydive Chicago if everything goes according to plan. Starved Rock Nationals is the group title, I think all-inclusive group, which is basically run by LaSalle County streetcars. So we're having people like American Force, I believe, and a bunch other big like truck names, car names. I don't know. I think they were trying to get like Holly EFI to come down, but I don't know if that worked out or not. I know there was a lot of mentions of different folks. I can't remember all off the top of my head, but it is well worth it. If you're from another state listening to this, or if you're from Ottawa or the surrounding area, I would highly recommend this. Look into it. Come down here. It is definitely a good idea, seeing as, number one, you're going to get to meet a lot of folks. A lot of vendors from around town are going to start sporting their names. Biggest thing out here, we're going to have a lot of small businesses who are trying to make a bigger and better name for themselves, who've kind of been, you know, on the sidelines. You know, one to mention would be Jimbo Service. My relatives of mine own that. But, you know, they're a small mechanic shop. They do really good service compared to a lot of places around here. The issue with it is, you know, they don't get a lot of customer base because, I want things done, you know, at the snap of my fingers. I want it done like this. Jimbo's is going to take their time, be methodical. They're going to make sure that when you leave, you're not going to come back and complain. They're going to make sure your car is safe, that you are safe, and they're going to make sure you have an all-over smooth ride. We're not sponsored by Jimbo's, but it'd be kind of cool. So, Mike and James, if y'all are listening, this is a chance. A big thing. Another few ones like Pomp's Tires. They're a decent sized shop here. They're making their name for themselves, and there's a lot of car groups around, like LaSalle County Cars and Truck Meets, and Trucks of the 815 Mafia. They're gonna show up. We're all gonna come out and have a good time. I don't know if we'll do a podcast live from the scene, because 1, it's gonna be loud. 2, there's gonna be a lot of people. 3, if we do end up sponsoring it, that'd be kind of cool. I think it's like $100 or something, like, to sponsor, get our name out there, get some t-shirts going. But it'd be absolutely worth checking out. If we do set up a booth or something, we'll definitely see how it goes. I do want to get some stickers made and some merch, because come on now, it's guys' night. Everyone likes to have fun. Everyone likes a decent chat. Nothing wrong with that at all. So if you're listening from a different state, swing on down here August 15th and 16th. Sorry, 14th and 15th. If you want to come a week early, best start checking hotels now, because I've heard that a lot of places can be booked. Anything to add? All right. What else can we dive into? Yes. We could talk about, you're into gaming, right, Michael?
Yeah.
So in that sense, we could talk about a few of the different games that have come out and kind of give them a rundown. Not really that we're, going to nerd out and be like, oh, this game's so much better than this one. Just based on, what we've played and how, what's to be expected. I think one of the biggest ones we could look into would be Halo Infinite. That's coming out. There's as an OG Halo player, things are, there's a lot of players who are going, hey, they're bringing in different things, they're pulling away from the original, but you gotta keep in mind, games tend to defer away from the original only because the original audience is getting older. They don't really have as much time for gaming. They want to keep things interesting, but they're not going to make it like Fortnite, which is an absolute garbage of a game. I hate it. It ruined the gaming culture. Fortnite. It ruined gaming culture for a lot of gamers, because it got really toxic.
Well, hold on. Alright, so in the beginning, Fortnite was fun. Like, it would have been a type of game that I myself would have gotten into if I tried at it. And, as more and more people started playing it, the game started changing a bunch. See, I'm not a fan about that. Like, a game like a Battle Royale is more meant to be more like a classic. Like PUBG didn't really add 72,000 different things to it. Modern Warfare's Battle Royale didn't ever add a bunch of random things into it.
But Fortnite kind of came in and fucked the genre.
Fortnite starts adding in Travis Scott shit and fucking, like,
it's
really?
Basically one free sponsorship game. I played, Noah and I played at the beginning, season 1. It was fun, it was a good idea to get into, but as the seasons progressed, everyone was like, I couldn't keep up with it. I was like, look, this is ridiculous. People are literally losing their minds over a stupid game like this. It's not, it's fun, and it's all fun and games when you're playing, you're having a good time, but there is no way to have a good time in a sense of Battle Royale like Fortnite. You tend to get pissed off and break things. I haven't broken anything. I got rid of the game, around season 3. I couldn't keep it. I didn't play it after season 1, but Noah was like, hey, you want to get on? I was like, sure, I'll try it again. And then it was just too ridiculous. People were just, little kids were just, having their way, yelling at you. It's like, look, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty Black Ops 2, multiplayer zombies lobbies were like that. But at the same time, you could absolutely dumpster kids because it was all about skill. Fortnite is, how fast can I spam a button to build or to shoot? So it's like, is it, at that point, it starts to get away from skill and starts to, lead more towards how fast is your reaction time? How fast can you tap the button? It's not the same as it used to be. And then when the Fortnite players go to other games, they think it's going to be the same way. And then when they get absolutely destroyed, they complain. They're like, this game isn't fun. And then it's like, look, the battle royale thing isn't new, but Fortnite kind of ruined that whole genre. So I'm just hoping a lot of the other games out there, like, Minecraft was thinking about introducing a battle royale, and then they did, and then it was, survival games on servers is so much better.
Alright, so I shit you not. Obviously, I enjoy Roblox a little here and there, just for the memes, It's a childhood thing. And I used to play this game called Dead Winter. And it was extremely fun. It was a game that had, like, zombies and shit in it. And you would go around, collect loot, defend yourself. You didn't even make a base. It was all based around PvP. So there was crates and shit to loot everywhere. And you just ran around the map killing zombies and shooting people. Like, that was literally the whole... And it was so fucking just plain simple and amusing.
But then, Fortnite kind of took off on the charts because it was free, and then Fallout 76 came around. They added their version of the Battle Royale. It was buggy at first, it's still kind of wacky, but it got a lot better. But the whole Battle Royale phase that everyone's in currently, I hope it does end, but at the same time, we're kind of stuck in between. Should we continue the Battle Royale phase? Send me a message over any of my social media if you're a friend. If you're not, shoot me a message over the email I'll leave in the description. Shoot me questions and stuff like that. What do you think? Should the gaming industry stick to the Battle Royale, or should we have a callback towards the older days where games, had multiplayer and it was fun to actually game instead of trying to be a tryhard sweat? Anything to add, Michael?
No.
Alright. What else can we talk about? Well, there isn't a whole lot going on tonight. Just kind of chilling, having fun. I think Michael might try out the Oculus Quest 2 that I bought. We'll obviously do a review of that. Whenever you want to do that, Michael, just let me know.
Definitely. Actually, I kind of do.
I don't know, maybe later Noah will join us for another session, and we'll see. We'll just see how it goes from there. But this is guys' night, just talking, chilling, and having a grand old time. And also to any of our new viewers, I want to just say welcome. This is one of the more relaxed episodes. If you want to check out our first one, it's a lot better. There's a lot more fun. There's a game at the end that we all play. But there's a lot of good content there for, what are we... Hey, I got the list right here of everything we talked about. We went over, we did some comedy, obviously stayed away from politics. Talked about all the good restaurants, all the bad restaurants in Ottawa, the do's and don'ts of dating, how not to mow your lawn, and then we played Never Have I Ever with a little pizzazz. But tonight, I think it's going to be a little more relaxed because we're all just kind of recovering from last night and all the things that have happened today. So, and it's just the two of us, Michael and I. So hopefully, Noah will join us later. But for now, I think this is where we'll end it off. At least for now, we'll call it good. So, have anything to say to our fans and viewers, or listeners?
It's been a shit day. it's gonna be a new day tomorrow. And tomorrow will probably be shit too, but there's a lot of new days to come. Everybody out there, man, like I said, we're just here to brighten somebody's day, man. We're just here to have fun. And just be ourselves, because not being you is like destroying people. It literally is. Everybody's so hell-bent on being the cool kid in school, or being the druggie that smokes all the weed, or being this or being that, and they're like doing it without care for anything.
But at the same time, if you don't live life to your fullest potential, you'll never see life for what it truly is. It's a beautiful mystery, and we're here to help unravel it one guy's night at a time. So for now, I thank you all for tuning in, and we both hope to see you, or see your comments and questions soon, and hopefully we'll get Noah around and some more folks to hop in and help us out.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good night, and remember, stay safe, stay true to yourself, and have a fun guys' night.